Picture this. Winter, 1914. Somewhere beneath a grey Belgian sky, a man crouches in a shallow scrape of earth he dug with his bare hands the night before. The mud smells of iron and rot. The cold is not merely uncomfortable, it is a slow, creeping predator. He has been awake for 36 hours, and yet he is alive, functional and fighting. Not because of luck, because of Fieldcraft. This episode of Fieldcraft Chronicles pulls back the curtain on the survival ingenuity that defined the common World War I soldier, men with no formal bushcraft training who improvised, adapted, and endured conditions that would break the modern imagination. The Western Front trench was not a single ditch. It was a living, evolving architecture of human desperation. Soldiers constructed dugouts 4 to 5 feet below the trench floor, reinforced with timber, corrugated iron, and sandbags layered 3 deep. Burlap ground sheets were woven into sleeping platforms to keep men elevated above the constant groundwater seep. Drainage channels, nicknamed duck walks, were cut at deliberate angles to route water away from living spaces. This was not engineering, it was survival architecture, born from cold necessity, and built from whatever the earth and exhausted supply lines could offer. They did not wait to be given comfort. They carved it, packed it, and stacked it from the broken earth itself. Food arrived cold, late, and often inedible, but soldiers became masterful foragers and improvisers. The Tommy cooker, a small tin of solidified alcohol paste, could heat a canteen of water or a can of bully beef with almost no visible flame, crucial for avoiding detection at night. Water perpetually contaminated by decomposing ground was rendered drinkable, using halazone tablets, boiling or filtration through improvised layers of sand and cloth torn from kit bags. Soldiers also supplemented rations by trapping rats and harvesting wild herbs from abandoned farmland just behind the lines. The ability to squeeze nutrition from near nothing remains one of the most viscerally human lessons this war has to teach. In no previous war had camouflage been elevated to such a science. Long before official doctrine, frontline soldiers fashioned helmet covers from burlap laced with local foliage, bramble, dried grass, smeared mud, a technique almost identical to what modern ghillie suit builders practice today. Snipers learned to move only under cloud cover, when shifting light patterns masked slow, deliberate motion across no man's land. Observation posts were disguised as shattered tree stumps, hollow papier-mâché shells, painted steel, housing a man and a periscope, feats of deception so effective that some went undiscovered for months at a stretch. Trenchfoot killed as surely as bullets, and every experienced soldier knew it. The remedy was ancient and simple: dry socks, whale oil applied nightly to the feet, and spare socks tucked against the abdomen, dried by body heat while men slept in shifts. Lice, an omnipresent enemy, were fought by running candle flames slowly along uniform seams, a technique the men called chatting. Open wounds were packed with boiled cotton strips torn from undershirts. These were not medical procedures, they were fieldcraft responses to biological attrition, executed by men who understood that the body, like any piece of equipment, requires constant maintenance to remain combat-ready. These men read no survival manuals. They had necessity, ingenuity, and the irreducible human will to endure. The fieldcraft they developed in those trenches, improvised shelters, water purification tricks, camouflage instincts, the quiet rituals that kept morale from collapsing, is not a relic. It is a living curriculum. Every modern bushcrafter who builds a debris shelter, every prepper who filters water through improvised media, Every small unit leader who understands the weight of morale is drawing from the same deep well these men drank from a century ago. The smallest armies, the most desperate defenders, have always known what the textbooks take years to teach. That skill, adaptability, and the refusal to surrender are worth more than any numerical advantage the enemy can claim. Survival was never only physical. The men who endured longest refused to let the battlefield consume their humanity. This is Fieldcraft Chronicles. If history's most desperate survivors lit something in you, subscribe to Fieldcraft Chronicles and share this episode with anyone who values self-reliance, history, and the enduring art of staying alive. Every share keeps these forgotten skills from disappearing again.